one thing about Rama is all good. Is like, but everybody who talks negative of it talks about that Sita Pariksha and then leaving her to forest. That one point. The other point is Shambuka Vada. So how accurate are these? Are these just later additions?
Clear later. See, Shambuka Vada is a clear later addition, because we have seen in my book Geography of Ramayana, I have analyzed the sargas that are mentioning Shambuka Vada. So there are a lot of chronological anomalies in that, indicating that it's a later addition. There is a mention about a talking Pushpaka Vimana, which is not how the Valmiki depicted the Pushpaka Vimana. So this is a new poet coming and telling the Vimana is a talking Pushpaka Vimana, and the Vimana can appear as a human being, etc. So this is a totally different poet, and I identify this poet as in the Sunga period, because of so many elements of Sunga period inside that passages. So in the Sunga period, as I mentioned, right, after these Mauryans were not very much focused on the Vedic religion. So this was creating some unrest and hatred in the subsequent rulers. So Sungas were very much upset with the Mauryan rule. Sungas mostly, I mean, Mauryans primarily patronized Jains and Buddhists. Of course, they also supported the main what we call Hinduism, but with a little lesser interest. So because of that, when Sunga king Pushyamitra assassinated the last Mauryan ruler and become the king, he decided that now onwards we will have the proper Vedic culture, and he declared the Mauryans as Shudras, and there was some enmity against the Shudras. That is the first time in the history of the India. The Brahmana class became absolute enemies against the Shudras, because they considered Mauryans as Shudras, and they were the rulers for at least 250 years. That was not acceptable for the Sungas. So they started creating all this conflict between the Shudras and Brahmanas, and that kind of situation got into as a Shambuka episode in the Valmiki Ramayana. So in order for endorsing their attitude of hatred to Shudras, they have attributed some actions onto Sri Rama, like Sri Rama killed the Shambuka who is doing tapas, etc. So if you once you understand that, you can exclude that as a later addition inside the. Of course, it's part of the critical addition, but within the critical addition, it's very late. Whereas the same analysis I have done for Sita Parityaga, but I could not see any chronological elements by which I can dismiss it as a later addition. There are no Sunga era elements or Mauryan era elements or Gupta era elements in that passage. So I consider it as genuine passage inside the Valmiki Ramayana. But of course, see, Valmiki even before this because some people say that this is in the Uttarakanda, the Sita Parityaga is in the Uttarakanda, so Uttarakanda is late. No, even in the 6th Kanda, that is Yuddha Kanda itself, there is a conflict between Rama and Sita. So Rama was not happy by seeing Sita adorned with ornaments and silk, red silk cloth, etc. That gave an impression to Sri Rama that Sita was living very happily inside Ravana's palace. But it was unfortunately this was created by Vibhishana, because Vibhishana, when Rama after the victory of Sri Rama, when Rama said, no, now I want to see Sita, Vibhishana went and met Sita to bring her. So that time he saw Sita is in a very bad shape. The clothes were completely dirty clothes and in a very bad shape. So then Vibhishana told, no, because we have won the war. It is not great that you look like a beggar. So kindly use these ornaments and these silken clothes. I'm donating to you. Please have these clothes. So poor Sita agreed to whatever Vibhishana said, change the clothes and put up on these new clothes and new ornaments, and then came and saw Rama. So this created an impression inside Rama that Sita is already very much enjoying inside the. No, so that is why very strong reaction. Sita Rama said, no, you can go. No, if you want, you go with Vibhishana. If you want, go with anybody else. I don't care. I just like want you, taken you back from my enemy, so that the Ikshvaka lineage is not, I mean, defamed, because it become a shame if the prince of an Ikshaku, the wife of Ikshaku prince got abducted, and if that abducted wife is not recovered back, it's a shame on the Ikshvakus, and I have removed my shame by killing Ravana and taking you back. But now I cannot take you back because no, you are living with Ravana, and no, you can go anywhere like that. Go with Vibhishana, go with Lakshmana, go with Bharata. Very strong words. So the reason is, of course, in the later Ramayana, like Tulsi Ramayana, Rama is very much a devotion, like a very divine being. So they filtered out all the different traits of Sri Rama. But Valmiki was very sincere, faithful, and he is a contemporary to Sri Rama. So all the positive aspects and some anger issues that Rama having, everything is depicted correctly, not only in Uttarakanda, but even other Kandas also.
And one question is, what do you think actually Agni Pariksha? I mean, like Agnideva came and told everybody Sita is pure and she comes out of it. It's just a poetic. They're trying to.
Yes, I consider it as very much a poetic because see, the later generations could not tolerate. I mean, because the generation after the Sungas and Guptas, they become a little conservative in nature. So for them, this all these events of Sita going to the being in the captive of Ravana and then Rama taking her back, these were all upsetting for them. So they wanted to put some kind of cover up, some kind of what do you call hand holding of this, softening this information. So they said Sita is pure because she had done purification with Agni, etc. But in reality, I have identified at least 2-3 people inside Lanka who are in support of Sita. So one is a minister of Ravana, and another is the daughter of Vibhishana, and the third one is the wife of Vibhishana. So these people were in full support of Sita. So when Rama have these doubts, naturally they should have come out and told, no, you don't suspect Sita. She is always pure, and we are an eyewitness to the conduct of Sita. She never was part of, I mean, she never went to Ravana, not even lived one day with Ravana. So she was in Ashoka Vatika, where it is very separate from the palace, etc. So that kind of information might have been given to Rama by these 3 eyewitnesses, and he might have taken her back. But this poetic narrative, and it's not like, it may not be a very great, it may not look very spectacular. So for that, these people who are vouching for Sita's purity, they changed their names. One is Brahma Deva, another is Agni Deva, and another is Shiva. So all these divinities coming and telling Sri Rama that Sita is pure. But these 3 witnesses, actually 3 gods come and certify Sita as pure, but actually it could be these 3 other people, real people who are in support of Sita, who could have given a certificate of purity for Sita. That I have discussed detail in my book, Geography of Ramayana.